From the masters of old, Al-Imam Abu Abdul Rahman Ahmed, son of Shu'aib, son of Ali, son of Sinan, son of Bahr, son of Dinar, al-Khurasani, an-Nasaai. Born in the year 215 after Hijrah in the great eastern land that gave birth to Imam an-Nasaai's predecessors in authoring the 6 mother books of Hadith, al-Khurasan, the eastern portion of what was previously the great kingdom of Persia. The an-Nasaai portion of his name refers to the city within Khurasan that he hailed from. It comes from Nisa, literally meaning women, and as the story goes, when the Muslims ventured to conquer the great land of Khurasan, they came upon Abu Abdul Rahman's hometown, but they did not find within it a single man. All its inhabitants were women, so they left the town be and it was named Nasa. Others have said the name Nasa is in fact not of Arabic origin, وَالْعِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Imam Abu Abdul Rahman first traveled in the pursuit of his first love when he was at the young age of 15, when he went to study under the great scholar of Hadith, Qutayba ibn Sa'id, in the city of Baghlan, and he would go on to chase this love throughout the rest of his life, making his way through different cities within Al-Khurasan, Al-Hijaz, Iraq, Kufa, Jazira, Sham, Thaghur, and would eventually settle in Misr. And this departure from this home of his would in fact be his first and his last, as he was eventually to meet Allah traversing upon this noble path. He stayed with Qutayba ibn Sa'id for approximately 14 months before moving on to his next adventure. Although the city of Maru was much closer to his city of Nasa, and he would eventually travel there to take from the great scholars Ali ibn Khashram and Ali ibn Hujr, he made his first destination of travel the much farther city of Baghlan, so as to sit with Qutayba ibn Sa'id and receive his elevated chain to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was this determination and resolve that Allah allowed him to display as a young man of just 15 years that would eventually propel him towards achieving his great destiny. And as the ulama mentioned when explaining the biography of the scholars of past and their travels, that certainly these great scholars only endured the sacrifices as well as reaped the benefits of traveling for knowledge after they had tasted all that their own locality had to offer, as well as beginning with the foundations of study that no true student of knowledge is able to do without, such as the memorization of the Quran, reading and writing, etc. Allah Ta'ala had surely favored Imam an-Nasaai in granting him the long life that he did, full of travels for the sake of knowledge, such that his teachers as well as his students became many and he was able to benefit much throughout his life. And as Hafidh al-Mizzi has mentioned, enumerating all of them has never been done due to the large amount that they were. From his masters, Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Abi Dawud, al-Dhuhli, Abu Hatim and Abu Zur'a al-Raziyain, Ishaq ibn Rahaway, Hisham ibn Ammar, Suwaid ibn Nasr, Isa ibn Hamad, also known as Zughbah, Abu Tahir ibn Sarh, Ahmad ibn Muntasir, Al-Harith ibn Miskin, Al-Hasan ibn Sabah, Al-Bazzar, Ziyad ibn Ayyub, Amr ibn Ali al-Fallas, and Muhammad ibn Adam al-Misisi, as well as many, many more. From his pupils, Ibrahim ibn Ishaq al-Iskandarani, Abu Ishaq Ibrahim ibn Muhammad al-Qurashi al-Dimishqi, Abu al-Abbas Abyad ibn Muhammad al-Qurashi al-Fihri al-Misri, Abu al-Hasan Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Zakaria ibn Hayyuway al-Naysaburi, Abu Ja'far Muhammad ibn Amr al-Aqili al-Makki, and Abu al-Khair Zubayr ibn Muhammad ibn Yaqub al-Malati, as well as many, many more. And just as his name would suggest, he was reported to have had 4 wives between whom he divided his time equally. As for his style, it was said he preferred to wear Nubian attire and specifically garments of green. It was mentioned as well that he had an extremely bright and pleasant face even when he advanced into old age. Imam al-Dhahabi referred to him as Shaykh al-Islam and as well described him as an ocean from amongst the oceans of knowledge, along with great understanding, extreme precision, mastery, as well as insight. He was a disparager of narrators and an excellent author. He also said about him, a sheikh who was awe-inspiring, as well possessing a handsome face. He was also said to have been a very elegant eater. Imam al-Daraqutni reported that Abu Bakr ibn al-Haddad al-Shafi'i was a scholar who knew many ahadith, but he did not narrate from other than Imam al-Nasaai. He explained, I am pleased with him sufficing as a proof between me and my Lord. It was reported that Imam an-Nasaai went to sit with the scholar of his time and take hadith from him. And Imam an-Nasaai was a man of good taste and fine attire. When the Sheikh saw Imam an-Nasaai and how fine he was dressed, he thought he might have been a spy for the Sultan, and thus prevented him from sitting in his lessons. This did not stop Imam an-Nasaai from benefiting from the Sheikh, so he would sit outside the door of the lesson and take from the Sheikh. So when he narrated from this teacher, he would say, "It was read to him while I was listening." This is a testament to his true hunger for knowledge, and an example of how those who truly want this ilm will endure and chase after it by any means necessary. He was said to have been an extremely harsh and thorough critique of narrators, as was narrated by Al-Hafidh ibn Tahir when he asked Ahmad ibn Ali al-Zanjani about a narrator whom he told him was strong. Al-Hafidh ibn Tahir then said, "Imam an-Nasaai weakened him," and he responded by saying, "Oh my son, indeed Abi Abdurrahman has conditions that are even stricter than those of Bukhari and Muslim." Imam al-Dhahabi added, he weakened a group of narrators that were reported from in Bukhari and Muslim. It was said that he was an avid worshipper who would devote his days and nights to Allah, as the people of Egypt bore witness to during his stay with them. Abu al-Hasan al-Daraqutni said about him, "Abu Abdurrahman is the foremost in Hadith amongst every scholar of his time." Ahmad ibn Nasr said, "The things upon which Imam an-Nasaai had patience, who else other than him could have had patience? He fought bravely in the path of Allah with the Emir of Egypt and would give his wealth to ransom the Muslim captives, and it is said he used to refrain from the gatherings of the rulers." Some of the works he's written include Musnad Ali, Musnad Malik, Fadail al-Sahaba, Kitab al-Tamyiz, Kitab al-Du'afa wal-Matrukin, Asma' al-Ruwat, Manasik al-Hajj, كتاب الجرح والتعديل الطبقات التسمية and من لم يروي عنه غير رجل واحد. Imam an-Nasaai compiled a book titled Sunan al-Kubra during his lifetime and was asked by the ruler of Egypt if every hadith therein was authentic, to which he answered negatively. He was asked to extract the authentic narrations from that book, which would go on to become the book Sunan al-Sughra, which is the magnum opus of his that we know today as Sunan al-Nasaai. It is one of the most influential books authored in the science of Hadith, and it is notably the most authentic book of Hadith after the Sahihain, Bukhari and Muslim. It consists of 5,761 ahadith, which are mostly authentic. Imam an-Nasaai would travel towards the end of his life to Dimishq, where he would be tried by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as all the great masters before and after him were tried. He was asked about the book he compiled on the virtues of the Sahaba, and was accused of being a Shi'i by the people of that area, so they attacked, beat, and threw him outside of the masjid. He asked some people to take him to Mecca, but Allah decreed that he would not make it. And so, it was during the month of Sha'ban, in the year 303 after Hijrah, at the age of 88, in the city of Ramlah, that the humble slave of Allah, as well as the great, noble, and all-around superfly Imam of this ummah, Abu Abdurrahman an-Nasaai, returned to his Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala. May the Lord of the seven heavens and all that they contain bestow his vast and encompassing mercy upon Imam an-Nasaai. May Allah allow us to benefit from the remnants he has left behind his legacy, and allow it to fill his scale of righteous deeds on the day there will be no shade save Allah's. May Allah Ta'ala reunite us with the masters of old in Jannah, and may Allah make you, dear listener, a master of present.